Oh man, is Bitcoin ready for its next leg up? Jerome Powell yesterday gave markets the permission to continue its rally. Is Bitcoin ready to mount another attack back here at new all-time highs? Yes, will meme coins continue their impressive run? Will altcoins continue in the green? I'm going to break down my exact price targets for Bitcoin and what I'm expecting to happen here. You can see it's been a crazy month here for the crypto space. A lot of greed and FOMO and excitement into this market as people really start to feel that this bull market is heating up. I mean, you just need to take a look here. Pepe up close to 600% this month. You got the likes of Floki up close to 600%, with 550%, Phantom 150%, Near Protocol nearly 100%. It's been a bonkers month, even though we've had this kind of a small cooling off over the last handful of days. Now, if you take a look at what happened here on Bitcoin, a very important moment yesterday. Now, why is this so important? Well, if you take on my TA, you will know that yesterday's candlestick was not just any ordinary candlestick. This is what you call a bullish engulfing candlestick. A bullish engulfing candlestick is a very high probability candle of indicating a reversal. Yes, they indicate reversal patterns and normally suggest that you're taking the strength away from the bears who are now exhausted and ready for the next leg up. So the question now is, does Bitcoin have the go ahead after now dumping into its EMA ribbon to not only bounce like we saw yesterday, but go back and create a higher high? And that is going to be the mission right now. All of this is fruitless if Bitcoin is not able to get a higher high. Very important. We've got a decent low here, right? It's actually a higher low compared to the lows down here. This is good. You've got your high here. Now you need the higher high, and then you need higher low, and you need to keep trending upwards to the upside. Can Bitcoin manage? That is going to be the question. All the altcoins are just waiting bated breath here for Bitcoin. They have no direction if it's not for Bitcoin right now. Best believe, apart from a few select coins, the majority of coins are just waiting for Bitcoin to be risk on, and then you're seeing all coins move to the upside. Very simple. Hold up, do you want to learn how to trade? Then you need to jump into our Telegram community. Link is in the description. In our Telegram community, I share my altcoins. I share how I do my trade setups, how I do my stop losses and take profit, so you could learn to become a profitable trader. Check it out, link is in the description. Now, what allowed Bitcoin to have the green day yesterday? It was all sparked by the no news is good news FOMC meeting. Yes, there was no bad news at the FOMC meeting, which allowed markets to continue their rally. We already know traditional markets and the stock market are having a record run, right? They're hitting record highs. They're really positive. Tech stocks are doing fantastic. And this run now gives permission for the markets to continue upwards. Jerome Powell reiterated that he expects 3 rate cuts this cycle. This year. And that's really exciting for markets because he didn't change it to say, oh, we're going to be higher for longer. We're not going to have as many rate cuts, still loads more work to do. He continued to say that. He basically indicated that we're making progress and he still wants to do 3 rate cuts this year, which is what he said at the end of last year. So as far as markets are concerned, carry on running. He didn't feel the need to jawbone markets, which is what markets were worried about. Jawboning is where Jerome Powell would say some strong words to get markets to be a little bit spooked and dump if he feels like they were running too much prematurely. But he didn't feel the need to. So markets are like, okay, we got permission from Jerome Powell that this rally we're having is quite good. Let's carry on. And that is good news for Bitcoin here as well. If we take a look at the dollar index, this is something we need to pay close attention to. If you look at yesterday's candlestick, it took a big dump after the FOMC press conference, but today you're seeing it bounce back with vengeance. So again, we need to keep a close eye on this. You can see on the daily chart here, it's kind of neither here nor there, right? It's unable to hold a trend here for a while. I mean, it was bearish here, which was really good for Bitcoin, but then it's kind of managed to go sideways for a bit. And the question is going to be, will the dollar index want to go to the upside, in which case no good for Bitcoin and crypto, or can we send it to the downside? Can we reject it from the CMA ribbon and get it into a nice downtrend here to the downside? If we switch it up to the weekly, you'll see the same thing, just sideways. We need to decide a direction here for the dollar index and ideally move it to the downside. Allow risk to rotate on. That's good for Bitcoin and that's good for our bull run here in terms of crypto and altcoins as well. Incidentally, guys, if you take a look at the liquidation numbers, you can see that both longs and shorts are getting wrecked. And this is exactly what I shared in my update yesterday. okay? Do not get yourself caught in this volatile market right now. At the onset of this week, what was the first thing I posted in our Telegram community? What was the first thing I said in these videos? It's going to be a volatile week. And what happens when there's volatility? You get wrecked with liquidations, long and short. And you're seeing market makers are having complete fun here, liquidating people for fun. Again, in the last 24 hours, they've picked up another $300 million of liquidations. Half of that was long, half of that was short. They're capturing you on both directions. If you're greedy long and you're greedy short, they're taking it both ways, and they're happy to do so. If you take a look at the heat map here, look at this. Look at where we're sat right now. There's a bunch of liquidations sat at 68,400. So again, don't be surprised to see Bitcoin want to jump up there and grab that liquidity. Equally, there's a bunch of liquidity here at 64,000. What's Bitcoin going to want to do? Will it go grab some of that and then come back down to 64? We got to be prepared for these eventualities. At the end of the day, this is free money for market makers. They're going to want to go and grab it. They're going to want to go and grab it. If you present them the opportunity and you sit here with all your liquidation levels, they'll go and hunt it. They'll go and hunt it. Then they'll go in the direction they want to back up when they're ready. You got to understand that. That's the game and how it's played. Now, if we also take a look here at Bitcoin versus its very own EMA ribbon, look at this weekly chart. It's crazy. This is very extended. Even if this pullback continued, like I've said time and time again, I have no qualms about it. If it wants to have a couple of red weeks, I don't care. I actually think it's pretty healthy. Now, if you pull into the daily chart, we've had our daily pullback now. So the question is going to be, do the Bitcoin bulls have enough energy about them? Is this enough of an RSI reset that they're happy to go for their next leg to the upside? If they're not, and they want to lose their EMA ribbon, then we're going to get a curling over, right? So if you start to see this curling over and showing weakness, that means they want to lose the EMA ribbon and they're not prepared to bounce now. And if they do lose the EMA ribbon, then you have to look to the weekly chart for some key levels of support, with the top of the EMA ribbon coming in at 50,000. Right? That's where that 50,000 price target starts to come back into play. So when we look at this chart right now, we're still hugely bullish. This is a very big bullish setup. Yesterday, we got the bullish engulfing candle. This is good, but it's only good if we can continue to show momentum, break through 68,000, which is showing us a little bit of resistance right now, and then go mount an attack at the all-time highs at 73, 74,000. If we fail to do that, if 68 presents too much of a problem, you best believe some of these other price targets continue to be in play, including 60,000, which would be a deeper pullback into the EMA ribbon, something like this. Because if Bitcoin's not able to pick up enough strength from where it is now, it may need to come down to 60, consolidate here for a bit, and then eventually get some strength to muster up the next leg. That's what we're watching for here in the market. Now, it's also worth noting, the market was not fooled by this pullback, right? The market did not fall for it. If we looked at Fear and Greed Index yesterday, we saw it was sat at 74, which was still greed when we made our video yesterday. Now, after the candlestick yesterday, we got 78 back again. Extreme greed just came straight back overnight. And this goes to show that the correction, whilst it was 16 to 17%, which is a decent pullback, didn't spook markets. And so maybe before we're ready for our next leg up, we still needed a little bit more. Maybe we still need a little bit more just to get people a little bit shook, right? Just to get maybe Fear and Greed Index even down here into 60s, or, kind of working its way into neutral territory. Maybe that will then be enough for us to say, okay, we've definitely flushed out the greed. We've flushed out the leverage. Now we're ready for our next leg to the upside. That being said, I'm not going to sit here betting against this market. I've told you time and time again, I am not going to stand there in front of a moving train and get hit. Bitcoin has proven itself, crypto has proven itself, that when it's in this kind of a mood, you go with the flow. You go with the flow, but you manage your risk. You don't FOMO into meme coins. You don't FOMO into leverage. You get yourself in the market, firmly in the market, in the projects which you have conviction in. You buy on pullbacks like we saw the pullback there on Bitcoin. And if the pullback comes again towards 60,000, I'll nibble some more. I'm not chasing green candles. When we see crazy pumps, I don't feel the need to chase and buy. I'm going to be patient. And that's my strategy in this market right now. When the bull market's pursuing, I need to make sure at least 88% of my money is in the market. I only like to keep 10 to 12% in cash. And that is what I'm using when I get pullbacks. When we get pullbacks, I nibble, I do nothing else. When we see green candles, great, let it run. I don't need to FOMO in on the green candles. Fundamentally, no need to do that. Okay? Hopefully you find this useful. If you appreciate type updates live and when the stuff is going on, then smash up the likes. Do not forget to subscribe if you want to trade with this community, ijazcrypto.com/TG. Hope to see as many of you guys in as possible in there trading with the community. I mean, last month I delivered over 330% spot returns trading. You can see every single altcoin I traded, how I traded it, how I set my stop loss, which trading patterns I was using. It's all transparent in our Telegram community. Go check it out. Not one of these influencers that doesn't actually trade. I actually trade first and make videos second. If you appreciate that, jump into our Telegram, smash up the likes and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.